Go. Whenever you're ready.
The supervillain Mojo Jojo in Powerpuff Girls always tried to take over the world. However, he failed every time, and the Powerpuff Girls always thought that he was a little bit of a lunatic and not really a threat to what is happening in their town. Now, if you look towards what is happening in the world today, North Korea is its equivalent of Mojo Jojo, always making threats that they will strike at the rest of the world, but always making insignificant ones. So, the New York Times on March 27, 2009 reports that North Korea is planning on launching its Taepodong-2 missile. It's considered as a rocket to launch satellites into orbit by North Korea, but the rest of the world talks about it as an intercontinental ballistic missile which has a huge range. Seeing that this could be interpreted as a serious threat of war by North Korea at a time when North Korea is trying to remove its terrorist tag, it is crucial we ask ourselves today's question. Are North Korea's threats of war to be taken seriously? And the answer for this is no. Just like how Mojo Jojo's actions are always comical, so is this by North Korea. We can understand this by looking at two key areas of analysis. First, by understanding how taking this as a serious threat would alienate North Korea. And second, how by taking this as a serious threat would also stop any possible peace talks. Initially, we must understand the concept that we could end up alienating North Korea by considering this threat as a serious threat of war coming from North Korea. We can understand this by looking towards regional reactions from Japan and how the stance taken by Washington. Initially, we must look to what Japan has done in retaliation of this threat posed by North Korea. The previously cited New York Times article explains that Japan is reacting a little bit violently. As the Al Jazeera of March 27, 2009 explains, Japan has sent out 2 warships as well as activated numerous ground missile interceptors. What it's saying here is simple. If North Korea's missiles fly over its air, it will shoot it down. Unfortunately, North Korea's missiles' first payload, or the empty fuel stage, will fall in the Sea of Japan. If Japan is going to attack this, Pyongyang reports that it will interpret this as an act of war. Clearly, any actions taken by Japan on a regional level will alienate and instigate North Korea. Washington isn't helping in this case either, which the BBC of March 28, 2009 explains is that Washington will seek punishment at the Security Council level of the United Nations if North Korea is going to launch its missile. As the International Herald Tribune of March 28, 2009 reports, U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton reports that this is a violation of the United Nations mandate. Washington is also making a clear stance that if North Korea is going to launch this missile, it will take its attacks seriously as a threat of war and propose to increase sanctions against a country that is trying to remove its terrorist tags. What this means is that we are trying to alienate North Korea by taking its threats seriously, both on a regional level by Japan as well as an international level by the United States. The implications this have is that it will clearly stop any peace progress that is going on with North Korea. We can understand this by looking at how it shows that North Korea is under constant scrutiny, and also by understanding that this will prompt North Korea to walk out of peace talks. Now, considering this as a serious threat of war will only have negative implications. We can understand this by first looking towards how this shows North Korea is under constant scrutiny. The Financial Times of March 28, 2009 explains that North Korea is saying that this is a rocket to launch satellite payload. They say that they absolutely need this because this would launch crucial satellites, including communication satellites critical for internal security. However, the article explains that 10 years ago, North Korea launched its Taepodong-1 missile. It tested this under the same farce of being a rocket for launching a satellite payload. However, no satellite payload was identified in orbit following its test, allowing other countries to conclude that the test for Taepodong-1 was for a missile. However, the North Korea of 10 years ago is not the North Korea of now, which the Wall Street Journal of March 27, 2009 is explaining by saying that North Korea, when there's a UN mandate for stopping them from launching any missile, will not go on and launch a missile, but they will test with their satellites. It says that because the stakes are higher and North Korea is on the path of removing its terrorist tag, it will not take a huge risk by going ahead and using the same trick they tried 10 years ago. Seeing that this North Korea is being equated to the North Korea 10 years ago, it shows North Korea is under constant scrutiny and is something that should not be taken as a serious threat. The same concept applies because the implications of this being taken as a serious threat is that North Korea will walk out of peace talks, which the Voice of America of March 27, 2009 explains that North Korea will walk out of a 6-member peace talk if this threat is taken seriously by both regional as well as international powers. What this is showing us is that a peace talk as successful as the one that is going on now in shutting down North Korea's nuclear program should not be put at risk for something as insignificant and trivial as a missile trial launch. We clearly understood the concept that this will halt peace talks if North Korea's weapon attacks are considered as a serious missile tests are considered as a serious threat for a war. Today we ask ourselves the question, are North Korea's threats of war to be taken seriously? And the answer is no, because this would alienate North Korea and also halt peace talks that are considerably successful. Mojo Jojo tried a lot of things, so are North Korea, but they should not be considered seriously like this missile test that they're going on, because all the voice they're throwing out is not insignificant.
Oh shoot, I forgot to go back down.